I guess I hit rock bottom. Rock bottom in the sense of it just created an absolute explosion. So when that happens, you kind of, time management, like you said, was foreign to me. Time management is like, hey,
well, we get forced into it.
I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Business of Parenting podcast. Tune in as we discuss the principles of successful parenting as a business professional. Here's your host, Jason Harris.
But time management was definitely something that did not exist. And this is kind of a perfect segue into kind of our first topic, because that's something that I had to teach myself, but then also turn around and realize how to teach my kids in a very different way. If I gave them their Switch, they would just bug out for 7.5 hours and not manage their time in a great way. But when it comes to work, we're the exact same way. So let's jam a little bit about time management, kind of how your, I guess, evolution of education or experience in time management has for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would assume that I'm not alone in this because I've spoken to many people and there's a very disturbing trend with regards to how do we even know that time management was required? Unfortunately, it comes at a serious critical cost, whereas you hit rock bottom. Yes. It's either you go through a divorce or you have this divorce type conversation or argument, or it's just your kids that literally look at you and say, "Daddy, I wish you were home more," which completely obliterates you.
Oh man, that's tough.
So unfortunately, what happens is by the time that people speak up, because when you're a high performer, you need to be in that zone. You need to be working optimally, right? So you're thinking, okay, well, I'm going to bang out 15 hours all week, and then I'm going to give whatever is left on the weekend to my kids. But then you get stuck in this, as they're on the swings or coming down, the slide, you're answering emails. Yeah, son, that's great. And you kind of get sucked into this vortex. So for me, what happened is, like many people, I guess I hit rock bottom. Rock bottom in the sense of it just created an absolute explosion. So when that happens, you kind of, time management, like you said, was foreign to me. Time management is like, hey,
well, we get forced into it.
I don't stop when I'm tired. I stop when I'm done.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, right? And look, I got to be honest with you. Look, I put this podcast out there because I am absolutely no expert. If I am an expert, I'm an expert in doing shit wrong. But I become more self-aware so I can actually acknowledge that I'm doing stuff wrong and try to learn from it, right? Dude, I'll be honest with you 100%. Time management is still something, I still deal with it today. I'm not an expert on it at all. There are still times where, to your point, I'll be at a restaurant with the kids and that message just came in and I'm like, underneath the table. I got it like down underneath the table. I'm like,
I gotta go to the washroom.
I gotta go to the bathroom for the 17th time. Can I go? But no.
But to your point, this is so. I think it's just a matter of just understanding. Like, we're going to talk about work-life balance after. I personally don't believe in the concept of you can be a person at work and a person, in your personal life. I don't think we're two people. But I think for me, time management is what helped, is what needed to happen actually, is dividing your day into segments, allowing yourself to disconnect for that 1 hour, hour and a half, because we're so fixated on instant gratification and immediate and customer experience. And the customer experience means I have to put my family secondary just to answer an email with regards to a question. Well, hey, listen, I will absolutely get to it, but customer experience is not necessarily defined in a timeline. I mean, I'm not saying get back to the customer, whether it's service or sales or what have you. I'm not saying get back to them in 24 hours, but if I'm at the kids' soccer game, like, I can answer this in an hour. I can answer this in an hour and a half.
I hear you. You can, right? But I just think we have this notion of time management. It's like this light switch where it's like on, off, on, off.
Correct.
On. And I don't necessarily... So I let my kids, be very open with me. Like if they see me on the phone and they need me, it's like, Dad, you need to get off. You've been on there for too long, right? And what I find is, and I see this happen a lot, and it's okay, right? But I see parents like kind of like, don't talk to me that way. You know, this is my business, not your business, right?
Correct.
And I think time management is something that is fluid. You know,
Yes.
there are times, legitimate times, right, Shawn, that we do need to take that bloody call.
Thanks for tuning in to the Business of Parenting podcast with your host, Jason Harris. Don't want to miss new content? Be sure to check out the full podcast library at strategywithjason.com to stay in the know. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Happy podcasting.